All right, here goes nothing, Sam Boners. Happy Monday. Welcome back to the Sam Boner Show. Another episode, Mondays with Mick. And let me just fucking tell you, this one is not an easy recording, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope everybody's enjoying the new segments, Mondays with Mick. Inspired by a guy that spent roughly 20 years in corporate America, mostly in the information technology business. I cut my teeth selling copier machines. So look, if you're driving into work, you're driving home, and you just have that desire to turn around or maybe quit your job, don't do that. Just give me a call. I will talk you through it, whether it's forecast, KPI reports, Monday morning meeting with the boss. Trust me, I feel your pain. I've been through the suffering. Give Sam Boner Mick a call. I will help you ease all the pain. Today, bottoms up, Sam Boners, because again, this is an absolute struggle. I decided to do this episode from my bar. Here we are, same old freaking story. Your Philadelphia 76ers are officially eliminated. Do we trust the process? Do we trust the MVP whose nickname became the process? Because let's be real, folks, this puppy is over. I would be shocked. If we didn't wake up tomorrow, Tuesday, and Doc Rivers was fired. Now, do we trade Joel Embiid? Does Harden opt out? I don't even know what to think about it anymore. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a NBA guru analyst. I'm a diehard Philly sports fan. I'm one of the biggest homers you'll ever meet. My optimism was through the roof, especially with Miami getting in there. We're thinking, my God, we get a chance to go play Jimmy the Buckets. Then, holy shit, man, we're in for an unbelievable treat. But nope, that's not the case. Our MVP and just the rest of the team decided not to show up on Sunday afternoon. Mother's Day of all days. Shout out to all the moms out there, the Sam Boner moms. We love you. Nothing but love from the Sam Boner Nation. But, dude, I don't know what to think anymore. Is the MVP, Joel Embiid, just not the guy that's going to take us to the promised land? Does he not have that it factor? Granted, I get it. He's a gigantic beast, 7 foot, 280 pounds. But then again, we always have to deal with this load management. And guys like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, you saw Jason Tatum yesterday. He rose up for the occasion and single-handedly took that game over just like he should in his own house. Look, kudos to Jason Tatum. Is it bitter that we never drafted him? Sure it is, right? It's all part of the fucking process. I'm telling you, ESPN, 30 for 30, trust the process, is an automatic slam dunk. Oh, my God. You know what? That's it, man. That team, at the end of the day, they were a box of chocolates. You really never knew what you were going to get on any given day. But the way they played in Game 5, if they had the ability to jump out and do exactly that in Game 6 or even Game 7, we wouldn't be having this story. I would have rose up at 8 a.m. and said, "Good morning, Sam Boners." But nope, you're getting miserable Mick today. Fuck! Oh, my God. All right, so, again, this is Mondays with Mick. I'm not that miserable. I'll get over it. Diehard Phillies fans. Let's go Birds. There's a lot of upside. But, dude, like I said, it is not easy being a Philadelphia sports fan. First, we lose the World Series. Then we go to the Super Bowl. We lose the Super Bowl. The Sixers can't get over the goddamn hump. And let's not get started with the Flyers. I'm not even going to talk about the Flyers. But, look, we got high hopes. The Phillies are a little over 500, doing exactly what Charlie Manuel asked. You got to get into that 500 mix, and then anything goes, we'll get hot. Dude, speaking of hot, Bryce Harper went completely off his rocker yesterday. It's you're watching one game and you're watching the next. You're put Bryce Harper in a Sixers uniform. Where the fuck is that grit on the Sixers right now? Man, you just can't win as a Philly sports fan. But like they say, I think Rocky says it best. The harder you fall, the more you wake. I don't even know the quote off the top of my head, but you know what? That's what we do. Philadelphia sports 444. We keep grinding. We keep pounding the pavement. We got a big summer ahead of us for the Fighting Phils. We got a big fall ahead of us for the Birds. As for the Sixers, as for the Flyers, blow it up in flames. But how about this over the weekend too? I'm amazed by this situation with Taylor Swift and the Swifties. I don't know much about the whole following until this weekend. Like, my girls were completely going crazy over the Taylor Swift craze over the weekend. We were jamming out back last night. I threw on a Taylor Swift concert. Like, why not? We were partying. But like, dude, to sell out Lincoln Financial Field 3 nights straight, we're talking 55, 60,000 people in the stadium, another 5, 10, 15,000 people in the parking lot, feeding off that energy, singing in the Lincoln Financial Field parking lot. Like, I've never seen anything like it, but like, you got to love the story. Local girl, grew up in Lancaster, PA. Yeah, that is Philly, right? You're allowed to say you're from Philly if you grew up in Cherry Hill or you grew up in Lancaster. Like, who gives a fuck, right? We're all in the Philadelphia vicinity, right? We weren't like Fried Uns who decided to pack up his bags and leave for South Carolina. That way, when you wake up on days like today, there's not much pain. But at the end of the day, he's from Philadelphia. And if he lives in Montgomery County or Bucks County, you're from Philadelphia. You root for the Sixers, the Eagles, the Phillies, the Flyers. Shit, I know I shouldn't have did this today. I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. I promise to get through it. This is not going to be long, but I didn't want to leave you hanging. I'm going to try to stay consistent with the Mondays with Mick because I got a lot of shit that's on my chest. Sam Boner Nation, can't thank you enough for all the love and support. You know we're going to keep on Sam Boning, baby. But, dude, shout out to Taylor Swift. Just a really cool story. Such a great success story out of Lancaster, PA, to come into your hometown, Philly, and just fucking take over, right? I'm trying to grow Sam Boner Nation. Meanwhile, this girl's got, I don't know, millions and millions of people that support her back. So what else happened over the weekend? So we had the Eagles schedule came out. That was a pretty cool list of games. I thought it's a little much when your team only gets selected for 3 1:00 games. Like, the NFL is a grind. Like, I know the players have to grind day in, day out. You hear Colin talk about it, but like, dude, you got to look at the fan too. Like, that perspective isn't easy as well, right? So, no 1:00, or 3 1:00 games. Those 4:00 games, you're still going to get down to the lot at 8:00, 9:00 in the morning. You're still going to tie one on. And then by the time it's over, 8:00, 8:30, you got to find your way home, right? That could take 3, 4, 5 hours. Like, so again, I know as an athlete, it's not easy playing in those late games. But dude, as a fan, a Philadelphia sports fan, we're in for a roller coaster ride. But I did take a glance at the schedule. I have it up right here. I mean, at a glance, I really don't see any losses. I mean, this is likely going to be a perfect season for the Eagles. Maybe they struggle against the Chiefs and Buffalo. But other than that, I mean, Cowboys, that's 2 easy wins. The Redskins or the Guardians or whatever the fuck they were, who cares what they're called anymore? That's 2 easy wins. Giants, 2 easy wins. I mean, who else do we got? Like, the Bucks without Brady. Minnesota, that's a tough game. I don't know. Let's go 15-2 for the Eagles. We're going back to the Super Bowl, and we are going to win the Super Bowl. You heard it here, and it's likely not the first time somebody said it, but got to have high hopes for the Birds. Got to have high hopes for the Phils. So the schedule does look cool. A couple Thursday night games. Oh, that was my bone of contention. I'd like to get your thoughts on this, Sam Boner Nation. Eagles play at 5:00 on Christmas Day. 4:30 against the Giants on Christmas Day. Look, we talked about this. We had Mike Gill on ESPN 97.3 South Jersey. Mike Gill, give that guy a follow. He loves to crush his IPAs. He's doing some beer reviews, or beer Sambones, I should say. And we talked about this, like the Eagles, Giants on Christmas Day. Now, I guess it's different for everybody. I'm not sure what everybody does for the holidays, but for me, the Mackenzies, we throw a bash. We have all the crazies come in. We're jamming out to all the Christmas carols. Yeah, sure, the tube's on. We're watching the Sixers. We're watching the NBA. I'm okay with that. But, dude, when it comes to the Eagles, you only have 17 games to really just roll up your sleeves, get away with murder from your wife, from your kids. It's those 3 hours where you need to just bring everybody together, sit your fat ass on the couch, grab a beer like I'm having one right now. Cheers. Horrible Monday. And watch the game. So when it butts up against a major holiday like Christmas, it's almost like basically your birthday is on Christmas. And I know a couple of people that actually celebrate their birthday on December 25th. That sucks, right? You're taking 2 big days and wrapping them right into one. So I'd rather wake up hungover the day after Christmas and watch the Eagles on a 9:30 a.m. game. Honestly, there's too many distractions. There's too much going on with kids opening presents, this, that, and the other thing. I don't know what the NFL's thinking, but I guess if there's a draw for it and I'm in the minority, then shame on me. But yeah, man, looking forward to things here as we wrap up a little episode with Mick here. Mondays with Mick. Again, I don't know where I'm going with this, and days like today, it's not easy to roll out of bed, let alone whip up a show and talk about it. But now we're having fun here at the Sam Boner Show. Again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Tons of momentum, which is very exciting, and couldn't be more pumped about what's ahead. And obviously this summer, right? Speaking of which, like Memorial Day weekend in 2 weeks, like I forgot to go on a diet. I honestly did. Like I keep in shape. I'm running crazy left and right, taking these kids all over the fucking map for their sports. But like I forgot to diet. Like every once in a while, I'll jump in there and get a good sweat in. But like tomorrow, we're going golfing with the boys, and I think we're going to hit up some joint in Westchester called La Piccolo. They want to put the Big Daddy Sam Boner Italian hoagie on the menu. So like, there you go. I know I'm eating an Italian hoagie tomorrow. That doesn't help my cause. But hey, man, Sam Boner's got to do what a Sam Boner's got to do. And there's a lot of love and support out there. So you got to continue to give it back and pay it forward. Shout out to Golden Bear Garage on this t-shirt action. Grease the poles. Yeah, we're not greasing those fucking poles anymore. It's going to be a couple months until we even have that consideration. But overall, great weekend. Continue to plow forward with youth sports, like I always say, driving from East Bumble to the next. But the kids are having fun. The Dodgers picked up another big win. Sam Boner Mick, who gets in another argument. How about this? This time, on the other hand, I didn't initiate it. Yeah, I called the ump out on a bad call at first, but that was the first time I chopped it up with him. And it was a bad call, and he corrected it. Next thing you know, I got some parrot off my radio. Yo, calm down, Jack. Like, calm down, Jack. Like, who are you? Who are you? And then one inning later, the guy's in he's in the dugout. Something, are you a fan or are you a coach? And then next thing you know, he turns out to be a Wood graduate. We were both a bunch of hotheads, and we laughed, we shook hands, we had a good time. And it's like, it's so funny how these youth sports games can really drive a parent's behavior. And unfortunately, it's just like, Johnny doesn't give a fuck about what you're saying, Mom and Dad. Just let the kid go have some fun and leave him alone. But nope, that's just not the case, man. Parents are crazy anymore. And I'm one of them. And I've learned from my mistakes. Mid-season, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I'm calling balls and strike. Not balls and strike. There was a couple plays at third base, and I'm hooting and hollering. I'm just excited. I want my kids to do good. I want my kids' team to win. But the umpire put me in my place. Son got in my car, told me I got to chill out. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I am going to chill out. So, hothead Mick is done. I'm not going to start peppering umpires anymore, but it is fun. I don't know. I get a kick out of it. I really do. So now another good weekend in youth sports. Dude, over the weekend though, we had a game up in Warwick, Pennsylvania, Bucks County, baby. And I decided to go to the Warwick Brewing Farm for the second time. First time was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember pulling in and saying to myself, like, dude, this brewery has so much potential. And at the time, it just had like a couple umbrellas, a couple picnic tables. But in the back, they were building this gigantic like farm. And apparently it was going to be their tasting house. But it was gigantic when I went in there. So I finally got back to go see it in real life. And just let me tell you, It was incredible. Shout out to Tim Tabor and everybody else over there. You guys are doing an amazing job. I dropped the kid off, had an hour to kill. I decided to go over to the Warwick Brewing, grabbed a little Citrus Sensation 6.5 hazy IPA action. I think I samboned it, sat my fat ass on a little Adirondack chair and just like chilled out, man. Caught up on some emails, soaked in the sun, did some people watching, and then, went over to the game. But if you're ever in the area, Bucks County, Warwick Brewery Farm dude, that might be one of the greatest breweries I've ever been to. And speaking of which, I think at one point I read, Phoenixville was blowing up at one point, and they just had breweries and distilleries popping up. And then even on the outskirts of Phoenixville, I think it was like a 20 or 25 mile per capita, the most breweries in the entire country. And now, you look up and down, Bucks County, Montgomery County, even in the city, there are fucking breweries everywhere. Maybe that's my next move. Maybe we start a little brewery beer month. We may pull an audible and do a little brewery month, because there's a lot of fun breweries out there that I've yet to see. And again, the Warwick Brewing Farms knocked my socks off over the weekend. Yeah, that's that, man. 2 weeks till Memorial Day weekend. Again, if you're driving home, you had a rough day, forecast doesn't look good, give me a call. We'll talk you through it. I'll talk you off a ledge. Trust me, I get the grind, and it ain't easy being a Samboner and working in corporate America. I can tell you that firsthand. The Samboner hotline has picked up. Appreciate everybody sending in their little vids or their little text. We had a little shout out from none other than Frankie Dukes. Frankie Dukes, we got to get you on the Samboner show. Call to the bullpen session will take place later this week. Anybody want to jump on the Samboner show? Chop it up, get after it. Shoot me a note. We'll get you on. Frankie Dukes coming in with the standard mayo versus no mayo on an Italian. Look, you're talking to the Irish potato. A couple other fellow Samboner Joe, I believe Samboner Pat, all put mayo on their Italian. Danny from Angelo's puts mayo on his Italian, but not the Italian beef, not GHE. And who else? Who else was talking about this? It's a major, major bone of contention for you Italians out there, and I get it. But look, at the end of the day, to each its own. Whatever you want to do, mayo, no mayo on Italian, I'm totally fine with it. But then another bone of contention, another call in was to talk about the way people talk about the Philly cheesesteak. If you label the Philly cheesesteak and then put green peppers and mushrooms in there, is that really a Philly cheesesteak? I don't know. That's open up for debate. I think we just need to label it cheesesteak, because we get a lot of shit every time we drop these top 10 lists. People just chime in that's not a Philly cheesesteak. It's in Bristol, PA. That's not a Philly cheesesteak. Again, people, get over yourself. Honestly, we're all from Philadelphia, whether the cheesesteak spots up in Montgomery County, Bucks County, South Jersey, Collingswood, who gives a shit, right? We're all from Philly. And they're all cheesesteaks, and they're all from the best bakeries in the world, brewing up all the proper ingredients. Oh my God, it's just a fucking cheesesteak, and they're easy to make if you're, track 3. Never mind. But that's pretty much it, folks. That's all I had today. I wasn't going to jump on. Do appreciate everybody hopping on the Samboner train, having a ton of fun here. Again, it's a beautiful, beautiful time to be a Samboner. It is not a beautiful time to be a Philadelphia sports fan. But again, that's what we do. We rise, we grind, we bone, we plow through, we watch it blow up. And then before no time, we'll be rooting on the Phils. We'll be rooting on the Birds. Wish nothing but the best. Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid, whatever happens. But that's that. So, yep, Hoagie month, baby. Full swing, Hoagie month. Get out there and Sambone. Go out there and make a debut. It's a beautiful, beautiful time to be a Samboner. Appreciate everybody joining in. Big special thanks to our friends at the Original Fudge Kitchen and our friends at Corporalese Italian Bakery for supporting the show. We got the call of the bullpen coming up here at the end of the week, followed by another location episode, all things Sea Isle, just in time for summer. Look out, baby, because here we come. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a great day.